Hello, 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 and welcome to a live show of the Hoopla Y'all show. Okay, I'm looking at my camera, looking at my notes, and I've got a different camera set up for tonight. Okay, so the Hoopla Y'all show is about health, humor, and hooping. And I am your host, Shay Rippinger. I'm a professional hooper, and tonight's theme, I'm being silly right now. I'm wearing a green mask. But tonight's theme is It's Not Easy Being Green. And my face is a little tight right now. The funny part of this is I decided to put a green mask on so that I could do the show because my face is actually all swollen up. I apparently might be allergic to something, and it happened last week. I didn't do the show last week because of that, and I just looked, ugh, not great. This is at least funny. So, doing a green mask. So that's my health tip is to do a green mask. And how did I do this? I used some green, kind of like the mushy mulch that was out of the juicer. So I made some fresh juice. I've been making a lot of fresh green juices lately to help my body improve health-wise. So I'm trying to do one green drink a day and keep up with it. That was one of my New Year's resolutions. I don't know if it was last year. I think it was last year. And so it was something that I actually adopted and I kind of ran with a little bit. And, maybe I got in, at somewhere between 2 and 3 a week because of the health needs that I have. I have, where I need to keep control of candida and I've already been through skin cancer and stuff like that. I definitely need to keep in track of my diet. So, maybe you're not experiencing health problems right now and you don't think you have to worry about anything like that. And I don't say worry, but consider those things to make lifestyle changes. I was just listening to something today, and it was that annoyances do not move us to action, but when we hit rock bottom, it does. When there's a true need to have different results, that is really when we decide to change. For me, going through candida, like the first time I had these basically like eczema and psoriasis patches on me that were just, oh my goodness, they were hellacious. They were small though. They were, I had, what did I have? I had one that was underneath my arm, and it grew to, it gets, it just starts out as like a little skin, what looks like a tiny rash. And for different people, it's a little bit, your experience or your manifestation of it can be a little different. But for me, it grew into like a scaly patch. It got itchy. When I itched it, then it got, crusty, and it's, all kinds of things that happened with it. And it was raised, and it was not fun at all. And I went through a lot of things to try and figure out what it was. I had a dermatologist say, oh, it's definitely not eczema, it's psoriasis. And I had another one that says it's definitely not psoriasis, it's eczema. So my faith in the medical establishment, when, two different experts can tell you completely different things, sometimes you have to find your own path and know, and research, do your own homework and research and see what is best for your needs, and then try some things too. So, a lot of things are anecdotal. So for me, going through all of this stuff, yes, what works, what doesn't work is anecdotal because it's just me doing it. But as I recommend these things to other people as they might need these for help or solutions, maybe these things can be helpful. Doing the green drinks, getting in many more vegetables. And the biggest thing for me that I had to do, and it was the hardest thing, it's always the hardest thing. And now when I say always, I mean that I have to keep redoing it and remembering that I need to do this, is really get rid of the sugar. That is so hard. Especially detoxing from it. And sugar is in so much stuff. And I'm getting some hearts out from Vicky. Hi to Cassie and I Bartsy Craftsy. There's a bunch of different people on. I'm doing this live presentation on 2 different feeds right now. I'm experimenting with different technology, and so we'll see how that all goes. But I do like to keep this show nice and short, under 20 minutes. Thank you so much, Vicky, for giving me hearts, like all the thumbs up and all that kind of good stuff. I really appreciate that. So yeah, so this stuff for me is a personal journey. So it's been, you know, a long journey. You know, those of you who may know me, who may know the story of like how I have this little guy on my arm. Now, when I say little guy, it's, you know, it takes up like half of my upper arm, and it's a scar from getting surgery from getting melanoma removed. Now the little thing was like this big. Here, get it in the two cameras. This is a tiny little thing, but you know, it's like something that I needed to get checked out. I didn't get it checked out for a very long time. So if there's anything you have in question, yes, it's good to see some medical professionals. You know, my anecdotal experience about my experience of having one doctor say one thing and one doctor say the complete opposite, you know, that's some people's experience too. That was mine. So, you know, again, it's anecdotal experience. I don't know if I'm saying that. Hopefully I'm saying that right. But, you know, in other words, it's just my personal experience. So this isn't an expert opinion on things, but, you know, it's just what I've gone through. So anyway, so the green mask, again, you can actually do this for fun or for health. This actually was one of the few things I could put on my face that did not bother my face, is some green mulch straight from the juicer. And then I also put a little extra in a jar to put in and put it in the fridge so it'd be nice and cool on my skin and soothing. So then it dries, and then it's like, you know, I feel like I'm doing this. That's actually what my skin underneath is doing right now. It's just my face. The allergic reaction is just on my face. The green is not the allergic reaction. Again, the green is a green mask just for tonight. So anyway, yeah. So I'm just trying to read the comments on here too so that I can keep up with the live people. And thank you so much for watching live, and thank you so much for watching on the replay as well. So we're going to do a laughter yoga exercise, and then we're also going to do a hooping tutorial as well. So we're going to do an easy hand hooping tutorial, and I'll explain it pretty quick. So let's move along to the humor portion. Kind of all of this is humor portion. I mean, showing up with a green mask, you know, I mean, you know, no makeup and green mask. So, you know, and also there's another little story behind this. It's kind of like a little double entendre of how we kind of hide behind a mask sometimes, and we don't offer ourselves up there to be vulnerable. So last week I did not do the show because I went through the first bout of this thing that was affecting my face, and it was really severe, and my face was my eyes were almost swollen shut. And of course, you know, the ego, because of how, you know, we present when we look, how we look, my ego didn't allow me to share last week what was really going on for me, you know. And when I recommend things and try and be helpful and healthful, you know, if you know, we tend to think if things aren't going exactly perfectly for us, who are we to say anything to anybody else? But sometimes we need to open up the book and show our vulnerability. So that's what I decided, was to try and grow up hair and get some guts. Pull myself up by my bootstraps and all that kind of stuff, and just do the show this week anyway, because I have good information to share, and it doesn't matter the outside vessel that it comes in, but the inside vessel, because I bring this to you with information with love and heart and intelligence and a lot of other things. So along that note, I'm breaking through my own little comfort zone of not being pretty on camera but doing it anyway. So yeah. Okay, so that, you know, that's part of the seriousness and the humor of the show. So, and the health thing was, of course, the green mask. Okay, part 2, and then we'll go on to part 3, which is hand hooping. Yeah. I'll do a quick demo of that in just a moment. All right, so real quick, with the laughter yoga, what we're going to do is we're going to take a nice deep breath in. Since I have this mask on, it forced me to do a different type of laughter yoga exercise for you guys today, and that is it's kind of like it can be a silent laugh. So sometimes if you are in a place where, you know, I heard this original story of I think it was Dr. Kataria who came up, him and his wife came up with laughter yoga, and one of the exercises that they did, he came from like a family of like a large family, and people were asleep at really early, so he would laugh silently and still get in his laughter yoga. And So this is borrowing on that theme slightly. So what we're going to do is, so you don't necessarily need all the facial expression because my face is like sucked in right now with the green mask. But what we're going to do is we're going to take a nice inhale in, and it's going to be a silent belly laugh. So I really want you to concentrate on laughing from the belly. Okay, so inhale in, and then belly laugh out. So you can't necessarily hear the laugh as I'm exhaling out, but trust me, it's there. So laugh with me. We're going to do this 2 more times. So go with me and try it anyway, even if it's out of your comfort zone. So take a nice deep inhale in, and then silent laughter out. And then take another deep inhale in, third and last time. And then silent laughter, belly laugh out. You might hear a little tiny laughter out of that. And if you want to, you can do a full-out belly laugh. If you're in a place that is safe to do that, or you feel comfortable doing that, then definitely do that. So at the end of laughter yoga exercises, I like to do a little breathing things 3 times because that's a fun number. But at the end of the exercises, we do this twice. You take your hands together and go, very good, yay. Very good, yay. So thanks for participating and doing the home game of the laughter yoga exercise for this week. So, all right, last but not least is a quick hooping tutorial. So what we're going to do is easy hand hooping. Now I'm going to give you some easy versions. I'm going to also move my chair here. And then I'm going to give you some variations. So if you're a little bit more advanced, you can grow this move into some other things. So what we're going to do, I'm going to use the light right hoop. Okay, so what we're going to do, I call this world's weirdest handshake. Thumb is going to be up, and you're going to tuck this elbow into the waist, and we're going to do world's weirdest handshake. Hello, how you doing? How you doing? How you doing? Nobody would ever do this. You usually extend out your hand to do a handshake. If you do that with this is going to not work. Anyway, this is what the move is going to look like. I'll do it from the side. So, and notice that I've got this going in alignment, so it's not going it's not. So I'm doing this. Why I call this the world's weirdest handshake is you're doing this kind of regimented up and down move. So it's a consistent, steady beat. So this is a so even though I'm doing a hand tutorial on this of hand hooping, this is a principle that's going to continue throughout your hooping. If you do tricks, this is going to come in handy for all kinds of stuff that you do. Whether it be waist hooping, you have a steady beat. If you do neck, shoulder, you keep it consistent with a beat, with a beat, with a beat. When you're doing leg hooping, you're doing the same thing with a beat, with a beat, with a beat. Same thing with the hand. So this skill is transferable to anything and all. So how you get this started, if you're just totally beginning, you're going to do what we call a sleeping spider. I borrowed this term from Emma Kenna. She's in the UK. Sleeping spider, and what it is an underhanded grip and palm facing up, and then loosely you're going to just get it. And I'm going to borrow a term from Sharna Rose, who's out of this here UK. I think she's in Ireland or UK. I'm not sure. I think she's in the UK. Anyway, so she's like, just give it a chuck, just chuck it. So I'm borrowing her term too. So she's a lovely hooper as well. So then you can, of course, go the other direction with this too. So little bounce up and down. You can even take this with a bounce, totally up and down with the body as well. Get a little beat, 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 beat. Now, okay, so you know that's pretty easy for you maybe. If you don't know that, practice and it will get easier. This is what I call, like one of those moves that can be an autopilot move, because you will get so comfortable with this that you can do all kinds of other things. So you can move your body, you can dance, you can turn, you can change plane, wall playing, wheel playing, wall playing, wheel playing. So you can also take this and transfer the hand. So you take one hand, you're going to take the other hand, slide it in, slide the first hand out. The hoop likes to balance on one point, so don't do this because that won't work. So keep doing this. World's weirdest handshake with 2 hands. World's almost weirder handshake. So taking this in, taking this out. So that's a variation that you can do. With this hand hooping, one of the reasons why I say I call this the thumb break, and this isn't as important unless you keep getting it to go up the arm when you don't want it to go up the arm. Okay, so but you can also do this as a lasso move. So overhead, okay, bend down for one of the cameras here, overhead, and you get the lasso move. Okay, so same thing, give it a good chuck. Or I call it lassoing a small child, and I only use that as a metaphor only. Like you have a lasso, small child is going to go run out in traffic, and you're going to go rope them, bring them in, so that they can be safe and sound and not get run over by a car. So again, joking around with that, we want kids to keep kids safe, and this is just a hooping metaphor. But anyway, this lasso format is the same thing. It's a beat. I call this kind of like a mermaid, like in water, like a little piece of seaweed, like mermaid fin. That will be also the same move when you're doing foot hooping as well. So when you're sticking your foot in the air, it's that same thing. And then you can do a transfer like we just did from hand to hand, and you can do hand to foot. All right, I'll even demonstrate this one standing up. And knock everything over. Okay, but let's try to do a hand to leg. So you get that in there, and you switch out one for the other. But you go in and you slide together to make sure you do that. So that's a quick hooping tutorial. That gives you, I just threw foot hooping at you, but we started out with like an easy hand tutorial move, and then we even got into all kinds of things of how to do transfers, a different variation of that. You can go one direction or the other direction. You can do this with turns. You can do an anti-spin with that. So that was an anti-spin. So the hoop is going that way, and I'm spinning this way. So my hoop is going to my left. Let's see, and now I'm turning to my right, anti-spin. Or you can go an in-spin where I'm turning in the direction of the hoop. Now this is kind of nice because your hoop is going to slow down a little bit for the rotation. I'm using a small, very light hoop, which rotates a lot faster because it's fast and speedy and light. It's easier on my hand, that's why I use it. And so it's going to be harder for like on-body maneuvers. I can do that, but I need to spin a lot with this, and that's taken a lot of practice. But anyway, like I said, I just wanted to give you that quick hand tutorial. Alrighty, so that is going to be it for the day. Oh, we just had the boy Shishi join. Yay. And Lisa Mom 51. Hi, you guys. Thanks for joining. And okay, so, and Susie Anderson. Wonderful. Thank you. So, and thanks for Vicki for watching, and whether you're watching it live or on the replay, thank you so much for watching. I am Shay Rippinger. I try and bring you this weekly. I'm a little bit behind these days, and hopefully I will get all of this figured out. I am actually going to a Western medicine doctor to figure out a little bit more to find out what's really going on. Not the green part of my face. We already covered the face mask part. But anyway, in case you're tuning in late and just was like, what's up with this? You got it. Yes, you really have a face issue. Yeah, it's a green mask for right now, but it is covering up an actual real dermatological problem, something like that. Anyway, I don't know if that's an actual word. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, and I just leave you with this, that yeah, sometimes it's not easy being green, whether you're trying to be green in the world and do things better with less chemicals, with doing a green drink every day, with just in green in your thinking, like green in the newness of your thought, keeping your mind open, and like a beginner mind of learning. I just got a new student, and she's lovely, and she's picking up the hoop like all get out. I mean, like one of the most wonderful students I've ever taught, and had the pleasure of teaching. And you know, and we all come in some interesting packages, and who we are, what age we are, what race, culture, background, whatever you've gone through. So, you know, hooping can be a helpful thing. We all need to be well and do the things we need to do to keep our wellness going. And so, you know, let's just embrace all of that and go for it anyway. So even if you're just feeling kind of green and not feeling all up to par, you know, sometimes we have to fake it till we make it. So it's a little bit of what I'm doing today, and just chowing through it anyway. Punching through it, chowing through it. Yeah, it's in my Italian. So on that note, ciao bella. Maybe I'll add that as my tag note. All right, rock on, peace out. Thank you so much for watching. Bye, you guys.